What's up, everyone? This is Jeremy from Five Finger Death Punch, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe, play it toxic.
Been thinking about a career in radio? Do what I did and check out the Connecticut School of Broadcasting in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Hi, this is Toxic Mike, owner and on-air personality here at Toxic Radio, and a proud graduate of Connecticut School of Broadcasting in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The internet and social media have revolutionized the radio industry, and it shows more with Toxic Radio than anywhere else. Connecticut School of Broadcasting can provide the hands-on training you need to start a career in broadcast media. CSB has placed thousands of grads in exciting careers, from radio to television to sports broadcasting. They've been around for 50 years, so you know what that means. Connections, connections, connections. And in this business, connections are key. So call 1-800-TV-RADIO. Start your road to a career in broadcasting today.
Hey guys, dating life going pretty shitty?
I find you so creepy I think you should have to walk around with a bell around your neck.
Finding yourself getting a little desperate for some female companionship?
Alexa, tell me you love me.
Hell no. You disgust me.
What you need is to upgrade your style right now. The Toxic Store's got exactly what you need. Pick up some stylish gear featuring Deviant Gamer, Toxic Radio, and the Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
Oh, yeah!
You can find the store through the Toxic Radio app or toxicradio.net. Get in the game.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Get yourself a little love.
That guy's getting boobies. Yeah, he is.
Toxic Radio and the Toxic Store. Don't buy it safe. Buy it toxic.
Hungry for Hope Nation. How we doing? They say bad things happen in Philly. Well, welcome to Bad Things. This is Reckless Donnie Hart with my co-host,
Big time Tim Gudgeon.
and we got live in studio Yianni The Greek. Yianni, how you doing?
How's it going, guys? Have you done any bad things today, or what's going on?
Tim, that's your
A lot of bad things?
My
or?
life is a bad thing. Just joking. I have a great life.
Well, we live in a messed up city, apparently. And if anyone watched TV on Sunday, you agree.
I mean, we kind of live near a messed up city, not
Yeah.
really in a messed up city.
We're all fake Philadelphians here. That's what we do. You know, we act like.
I live the good life across the bridge.
There you go.
No bad things happen.
Tim, you speak about good, and it's hard for me to even hear the word good after watching the NFL this week.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
You
the worst part, Yanni,
Wentz Nation.
I was watching it with our caller, AJ, who called in, and right after the game, we were in Atlantic City. We both took off our team gear. But you know what I couldn't do? I got it tattooed on my arm.
It's there.
I can't take
You
it
can't
off.
hide from it.
I know a guy who once had to get tattoo taken off, but that's not here or there. He did bad things. He probably deserved it.
Was he from Philly?
But, bad things happen.
Well, that's
in Philly.
where bad things happen.
But, I can't hide. And I'm a true fan. But I'm walking around like an asshole with this tattoo, and everybody's looking at me. They're all looking at me.
Well, listen,
they're pointing and laughing. What do you think about this?
It comes with the territory of being Philadelphia fans, right? We have to suffer through the Philadelphia things that happen to us. And after spending a weekend kissing our sister and tying a game there, we have to kind of walk around with that shame. And that's the second time now we've tied the Bengals in our lifetime.
Who lost to the Browns?
The Bengals who lost to the Browns, absolutely. Yes. Now, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but Carson Wentz's mechanics actually cleaned up a little bit, but he still is so crazy inaccurate. I mean, he can't hit a throw.
So you think Carson Wentz but I'm saying we watched Joe Burrows, and I watched Joe Burrows. I saw a guy who looked like a star, and he's third game.
Yeah, listen, Carson Wentz is rebuilding his game right now. He is starting from scratch, and you could see it. You could see it in the first game where the footwork was a big problem. You could see it now where accuracy is a problem. And what did he do, right? How many young quarterbacks have we seen that go one read, tuck it, and run? Carson Wentz had 9 rushes this game.
No.
He couldn't find his receiver.
Does
and
he know how to
run.
fucking slide?
He's-
Does he know how to slide?
He does not. He is simply restarting.
But
as a
Yanni,
player.
why? Tell me, you say he's restarting. Now, we got tons of Eagles fans tuning in. What happened? You know, he didn't look that bad a couple years ago. What is happening?
So
why does he look so different than he looked that? We were all hopeful. I was hopeful. I'm not going to lie. I said, this guy's the next, Joe Montana.
Of course, I mean, this is why we're outraged, right? I mean, who can remember seeing a player regress this much over the course of a
What does
couple
regress mean?
Regress means when you get worse than you were before.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
we haven't seen
you got a good
especially
point
a
there.
quarterback, and it's not injury
The
related.
Sixers in general, as
Sure.
a whole.
Yes, as a
So
team,
why did he
right.
get worse? I want to hear this. You tell us.
So most of the time when it happens in the NFL, what is it, right? It's an injury, something that's significant that alters the way you play. That's not what this is, right? He got the concussion with the dirty clowny hit in the playoff game last year against the Seahawks. That's not a physical issue. He just seems to, I don't know, it really looks like, I said it last week, it looks like he has not been practicing all year. Like, it looks like he doesn't watch film and he just rolls out there.
Do you think,
and
Yanni,
he's
let's be
shocked by
honest,
what he sees.
there was the one thing I noticed from when he was amazing to now is the man got paid. Do you think because he got paid, he doesn't care anymore?
I mean, so I've had some people throw like, oh, well, he had a kid this offseason, so his mind wasn't, like, get out of here.
You could be a dad after the game. When you're on the goddamn field, be our quarterback. I don't
Now,
care
one
about
thing
just mentioned
little
how much he got
Johnny or
paid.
whatever.
What I remember when he
Yanni
was doing
Wentz.
better in the offseason, he used to bring his wide receivers out to North Dakota
There's
and
none of that.
practice.
There's none of that.
What do our fans think? Are you on the Wentz bandwagon or are you off it? Do you think a guy like Jalen Hurts should be in?
No.
What do you think about Wentz? I want to hear from the fans, not my co-host.
Hurts
The
isn't
fans,
the
Tim.
answer.
fine.
The fans, Tim.
That's fine.
Hurts
Bring it,
hurts us
fans.
more.
Tim, you're not a fan. You're a co-host.
I'll say this from an organizational standpoint.
Fans, don't listen to Tim. If you have an opinion, we value
Well,
it.
while
We
the
do.
questions start flowing in, from an organizational standpoint, you can't move off of Wentz, right? You can't. You don't even think about switching to Jalen Hurts.
Because you look like a fool because you paid him, right?
Well, because you paid him, 1 and 2. That's just kind of like the nature. You
Well,
get
there's
in
nothing
bed.
you can do with him.
You get in bed with the quarterback. That's what it is, and then
Tim
you
has a
kind of
great
ride
point.
it until it goes.
What
bad.
do you do with him?
He has a Tobias Harris
That's what it is.
contract. There's like, what are you
do
going
you-
to trade him?
He either
You
gets
know,
it right.
we can put him
or-
as a guest on our show. Washed up has-been scumbag quarterback next week.
The main question I think from the Eagles game was, when did Doug Peterson become soft as a pillow?
when he stopped trusting his quarterback and the rest of his team.
I mean, you can trust Jake
And
Elliott to
and he
kick a
doesn't
long
trust
ball.
and he doesn't trust the defensive coordinator.
Tim came up with a great point. Jake Elliott with the long ball. Tim, what did you think about that when you were watching that? We're in overtime. Everybody get their head there. We're in overtime. It's a tied game. There's 20 seconds left. The only chance we have of winning is we got to kick a 64-yard field goal. So what do, Tim?
I trust them more to kick a 64-yard field goal than an extra point.
What do? They punted it?
They punted it. They succumbed.
What
gave
did
up.
they say when they punted it? They basically said, we're
We give
okay
up.
with tying.
White flag.
It's not even.
That was the lowest point I can remember in a long time being an Eagles fan.
Yeah. For the lowest point in at least 4 years, 5 years, for sure.
That punt, man.
But that punt tells you exactly where Doug's mind frame is right now.
Now
He
you-
doesn't trust this team, that defense, to hold up for 19 seconds.
Do you think when he tried doing the trick play earlier in the game with Hurts and Hurts fumbled the ball?
That was a bad move.
His first professional
Bad
football play.
Now the worst part on that, one of our, I'm not going to name names, one of our good viewers always tuning in, he or she, it doesn't matter what they are, they bet. The Jalen Hurts bet, all he needed to do was throw one pass.
Oh, my buddy. had that
Incomplete.
too.
It didn't have to be completed. They would have won like $500 on a few dollars. Whatever it was, that's all they needed. So he goes in, throw the ball, and then what does he do? Fumble it?
Well,
He
if he
fumbled
throws
on the
the ball
exchange.
like he catches a snap, we're in trouble.
What it looked like is he had a read option going, and he wanted to keep it, but he held it in the running back's chest too long, stomach too long, and when he tried to pull it, it just kind of hit the ground. That's not having reps, right? Because why? Because he's not the starter, and that's. What
But
it
there's
is.
still teams that are winning without having a preseason. There's still teams that
sure,
are dominant.
yeah, and that's because those players took it upon themselves to continue to get better. Whether there would be, an official training
Except
camp
for the
or whatever.
Falcons. I would hate to be a Falcons fan. I would rather be an Eagles fan at
Listen,
this point.
Now,
nothing can explain the fact.
Tim-
Although the Falcons did get victimized.
Tim just hit my heart there.
Big
So
Dick
we're talking
Nick.
about this horrible things that happened in Philly. How much worse was it that we had to watch Atlanta Falcons game, and if nobody watched it, Nick Foles, the guy who took us to a Super Bowl, the guy who was a legend, a hero in Philadelphia, a man's man, a man's man. If you had a little Yianni, you'd want little Yianni to grow up to be Nick Foles.
Absolutely.
So he comes in. He's the backup in Chicago. Their guy, Mitch Trubisky, he's doing horrible, so they brought Nick Foles in, correct?
That's right, and we had this conversation.
Down, how much were they down? They were down a couple points.
They were down 16. So we had this conversation, right, a few weeks ago, Tim and I did, about that situation, and what do you do? And that's exactly what happens. You can't start with Foles and go to Trubisky, but you can absolutely start with Trubisky and switch to Foles, and then you can switch back if you want.
Right, and that's Foles' thing. Yeah. And he runs an easier offense. It's a simple offense. He calls it like he sees it. He's a good come in and take over for your quarterback.
Speaking of Foles, by the way.
Amazing.
Tell us about Nick Foles.
One thing, I just want to finish one thing on Carson, because I noticed this. He seems to be wanting to put a little more air on his ball. It took me back to that comment that Alshon Jeffrey made about Nick Foles' passes versus Carson Wentz's passes. And it looks like Carson is trying to change his pass to have a little more loft, a little more like of that pillow thing that Foles does. It's concerning. I don't like that. You don't change your game like that.
That's not the kind of quarterback he is.
That's right, and you don't change your game like that 4 years in.
But I don't think he even knows who he is anymore. Like Tim said, that's not the quarterback. Who is he? He's not even the guy we used to see that we used to like.
Don, it's a great point. He's got an identity crisis right now.
I had a guy who used to have an identity crisis. He ended up. He's doing where's he at? Fort Dix federal detention, but they charged him with it.
What having?
Identity.
That's not a crisis.
That means you're pretending to be somebody you're not while you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's a little
different.
You're talking
about fraud.
Oh,
Wentz isn't doing fraud.
No, he just has a crisis where he just doesn't really know who he is.
I was happy for a minute. I was like, they're going to arrest him. He's going. They got it,
Maybe the issue with Wentz is bad things just happen in Philly.
Bad things happen in Philly, and that's what we learned this time.
I bet Wentz probably is a criminal. Who knows? He's a criminal. He should be charged with stealing that money.
He's a Christian from North Dakota. He's not a. I mean, yes, he did.
He should have wore a ski mask when he stole that money from the Eagles organization.
The right thing to do would.
I don't care if he's a Christian. I don't care if he's from North Dakota, South Africa. I don't care, Tim. He's a criminal.
Unfortunately, for the next couple of years, he's my quarterback.
That's for sure. That's absolutely
Not if
right.
he gets busted on an identity crisis.
Or
unless
Nick
Clowney
Foles
comes back and handles business.
So Nick Foles, however, gets me into. I'm not gonna sit here and be negative, right? I don't like that version of myself, Donnie.
Yeah, all right, Yianni, I dig it. Come on, Yianni.
No, I'm gonna give football fans here in the Delaware Valley a little bit something to look forward to. If our Eagles are just gonna be a bad team and we're not gonna enjoy watching them every week, I got a few other options for us.
I got one of them options I want you to hold off on.
Okay.
One of them options today, not to cut you off, Yianni, but you're getting the good stuff. We got a caller coming in, good friend of the show, Fishman, Heavy Metal Happy Hour, right on Toxic Radio. He is a diehard NFL guy, and he's not a fan of the Eagles.
Nope.
But his team, he'll tell us who his team is. They're legit.
Oh, he ain't afraid to tell you.
They're legit, and I'm going to let him say it.
Cowboys.
He's from Texas. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying what team. He lives in the Philadelphia area, outside of Philly.
That's a tease right there.
I'm not telling you what team he likes, but his team, they're legit, and I'm gonna have him talk about them.
They are.
Well, it's not the Cowboys because they're not.
It's not the Cowboys, but team number one.
But if you're not an Eagles fan, what team do you think you should listen to right now? Watch,
so we just mentioned Nick Foles, and team number one I'm going to bring up
Chicago Bears.
Is the Chicago Bears. Don't look now, but they're 3-0.
Dub Bears.
And they know they haven't beat anybody.
They're a pretty bad 3-0 team, though.
They're a pretty bad 3-0 team, but their offensive line is sound. Nick Foles now is in there running the charge. Their skill players are legitimate. I mean, Allen Robinson is having a great year, and
Yianni,
Anthony Miller's coming into his own.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Who would win in a fight, Dicka or God?
Trick question.
Dicka is
Dicka
God.
is God.
There we go. All right.
Tim got the jokes, and Yianni got the facts.
He's got it down. And that the Bears defense, while it's not the traditional Bears defense we remember with Dick Butkus or Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs. It's not
the
that
85
kind of defense.
Bears.
They're very sound. They play. They
got
play
Khalil
the right
Mack though. He's amazing.
But now they have no running game, and that's an issue for once.
It's for Foles.
Foles.
Yeah.
They get hurt.
They have guys.
Somebody get hurt or.
Yeah, Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen's out for the year, but David Montgomery is getting healthier, so they'll figure it out.
There's a few still on the open market, but nobody really.
Montgomery's a good player.
He
can do
Packers,
some
right?
all-around stuff. No. He's a draft pick out of Iowa State 2 years ago.
All right, Packers had a Montgomery, I think, though.
Ty Montgomery. Yeah, I saw him somewhere this year.
So, all right, Yanni,
anyway.
back on focus.
Yeah.
The Bears, you can be an Eagles fan and still watch the Bears. We're not saying go burn your Wentz jersey and riot in the city. We're saying you can watch another team. And the Bears, you can.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, because
if you're a football fan, you're watching on Sundays, right?
Well, and you support the guy that got us that Super Bowl that nobody else ever.
So the Bears is the one. What other teams?
Bears are number one, and I guess I don't really want to ruin it. I guess.
All right,
we'll
then skip
tease
that.
a little bit because there's another one coming.
All right, we're gonna
say
skip
Buffalo
that.
Bills, and I'll flip this table.
You say the Dallas
We're
Cowboys,
gonna
I'll flip 3 tables.
If I say Dallas Cowboys,
St.
you
Louis
better
Rams.
put that left hook right through my face. Anyway.
No, but how about those Bills? The Bills are.
Yanni,
Bills
back to your list.
My
Stay focused,
list. All
Yanni.
right.
You're in this to win it.
Okay, so going into last week, the Pittsburgh Steelers were catching a bunch of hate as a fake team. Like people didn't believe that they're real good. I'm right here to tell you, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a good team.
They beat a good Houston team. Houston's 0-3, but my God, that Houston team.
That's a tough spot that they were in, and they ended
I
up
took
winning.
that money line on Houston, man. I liked it. I thought it was a good bet.
A lot of
I took it
sharps
on Pittsburgh.
were on that Houston, and when you're kind of beating Vegas like that, that's a pretty good sign.
So Pittsburgh Steelers, they're pretty legit.
I like the Steelers. I love that AFC North for some reason. I don't
all
know
right,
why.
so you got
all
a couple
teams.
there.
I can't
What other
do the
ones?
Steelers.
Weird guy.
Any other?
Andy Reid.
Any other? I got plenty other, man.
The teams that Eagles fans are pissed off right now. They think Carson Wentz robbed us, and I think he did too.
Yeah.
What other teams can they watch? You said the Bears. You said the Steelers.
It's early enough to hop on the bandwagon of the Green Bay Packers.
The Green
Bay
Packers.
Aaron Rodgers is on a big FU tour, and I'm enjoying watching it on my screen every week.
What about Big Red's team?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
We got to do one at a time, Tim. That's what the sports expert does.
I would have put him
You're
high
throwing
up
names
there.
out.
Well,
Let him be the sports
like
expert. We'll be
watching
the
Magic.
co-host.
So all right. He brought it up. Let's do it. So
No, Yanni, you stick to what you got to do, brother. Don't be influenced by other sources.
Well, the Aaron Rodgers pick is very much like the Chiefs, which is.
Why do you like Green Bay though? You didn't tell us why.
Sure. Okay. So like I said, Aaron Rodgers is on a big FU tour. He's having fun out there. There was like a play on the Sunday Night Football game where I guess he had a miscommunication with one of his tight ends, but he stretched out, made a play, and he comes back, and Rodgers kind of like ribbing him, like laughing. This is in the middle of like a serious Sunday Night Football game. It's close, and he's like having a great time. Like that's fun to watch for me as like a football fan. Like a guy just out there at the top of his game, enjoying it. I'm in on that. So
on Big Ben.
Big Ben too. I mean,
is he a rapist though, Yanni? You're saying you're in on him.
Allegedly.
Is he a rapist though? Let's cut the shit. Is he a rapist?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean,
he
never got charged.
Yeah, it's not even. You can't even really say allegedly.
We'll get Rashawn Bass out to his house, and then we'll find out.
I need him for a couple other things.
But all right, so we're on to your next team, Jan. We got the Packers, we got the Bears, we got the Steelers.
Right, all good teams, and we also mentioned the Chiefs.
We got a lot of teams, Jan.
Sure.
But I got a caller coming in. We got live on the air. We got Fishman. Yo, Fish. We got live on there. I'm going to say sometimes you got to say things twice in the world. Yo.
Happy hour.
There we go.
Fishman, is that you?
Hey.
Hey, we got live on the air from the Heavy Metal Happy Hour on Toxic Radio. Fishman.
What's going on, guys?
Yo.
How are you?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for calling in, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. I just got home from work, and I'm like, I got to call into one of the greatest shows on Toxic Radio.
Yeah, and then after that, could you call into our show? Or
Yeah, absolutely. You got it, man. You got it.
Thanks for calling in, man.
What's going on, fellas?
Let's hit the nail on the head. We're talking football. Yanni has a team he thinks people should be looking at, and that's your team. What team is that, Fish?
Man, oh man, let's go Buffalo Bills, baby. 3-0.
3-0, man. They beat a good
How
St.
about
Louis.
it?
They beat a good, not St. Los Angeles, they call them now, the Rams.
They can't cover a spread for the life of them.
Hell of a game. They covered last game.
Yeah,
We
I
really
bet
should
against
have
them.
kept on the. We really should have kept on the gas pedal and destroyed those guys and not let them come back and then make us do a comeback. But the thing is, Josh Allen is the comeback kid, man. He is outstanding this year.
Are you a little worried, though? Like you said, you guys were killing the Rams. They came back. And last week, you had a tough game against the Miami team that looks a little better than people thought. You guys aren't blowing teams out yet, but you're 3-0. You can't argue that. You think this is the year?
If you look at it, though, we are blowing them out in the first half. And something that has been killing me, I've been a Bills fan my entire life, almost 50 years I've been a fan, because I guess I started watching when I was like 2. But I've been such a fan, and for so many years, we've been able to get that lead, man, and then they take off, they take their foot off the pedal, they ease up a little bit, and the defense starts playing a little soft, and you just got to keep that shit going and go for a 50 burger, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, Fish, I will kind of calm you down off of last week because that Rams team is very legitimate, and it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a fluke what the Rams did to the Eagles and flat out embarrassed them. And putting up some points against a very good Buffalo defense is impressive. And in fact, the Rams and Bills are both on my list here that I have for the folks. The Rams are going to make some noise here, and you just beat a real good team, your Buffalo Bills team. Including coming back.
I appreciate that.
Including coming back after losing a big lead, right, where the momentum has swung, and you're able to. Although I don't really know about that offensive or defensive pass interference call down there at the end of the game.
Yeah, but that was payback for what they did earlier.
I knew you'd have something for that.
That interception.
I knew you'd have
that
something
interception that was not an interception.
That got called back. That's right.
So what do you?
I'll take it.
You live outside of Philly. You're not an Eagles fan, but what do you think about the Eagles? What do you think about this Carson Wentz bozo who stole our money and is playing horrible? What do you think about him?
Well, you see, I work with a bunch of Eagles fans, and if I had to have a second team that I would root for, it would be the Eagles due to the fact that I've been in the area almost 30 years now. So I have a little bit of a loyalty to the Eagles, and I'm just completely shocked at what is going on. Now, last week I kind of understand. They've always had a tough time against the Bengals, for years and years and years. And this is the second time they've tied with them. So that one I can kind of get. But the first 2 losses, I don't understand. Wentz is a great quarterback. When he's on the money, he is badass. Lately, he's not right. His head's not right in the game. And it could be the fact that there was no preseason. They had nothing to, get going. I don't know. I think the Eagles are going to turn shit around real soon, and I think your Birds are going to be A-OK.
Now,
I mean, your division is going to be won really easily.
Oh, yeah. It's a bad division.
Now, Fish, do you let Jake Elliott kick that 64-yard field goal, or do you succumb to a tie?
No, he absolutely kicked that field goal.
That's
that
what I'm
was the most
talking
ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
That was a low point as an Eagles
most
fan.
Most ridiculous thing ever.
That was a low point. They basically said we're okay with tying the worst team in football. The Bengals are, definitely top 5 worst team. They were. Now we're proud.
Yeah, and that's not even like to take a shot at the Bengals. I mean, that's just
what your coach said was your coach said he didn't trust his team.
That's right.
That's what Sunday said.
That's exactly right.
Well, he probably needs to do a better job coaching then.
He got a little bit of pass because he won that Super Bowl. But, I wasn't happy with him. I wasn't happy with him at all.
I'm so glad Tim
and most of that was Frank Reich. It wasn't him.
Absolutely, man. Frank Reich was
we can't even tank for Trevor because of that contract.
We keep talking about the decision to punt.
My man Frank Reich, the comeback kid.
Yeah, he's out in Indiana now, right?
Indianapolis.
That's my man.
Indianapolis,
he's
Indiana.
He's killing down there now.
We keep talking about the decision to punt, but my problem with Doug, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, look at other imaginative offenses going on out there. Kyle Shanahan has us 3 playing in his offense, and he's putting 400 yards of offense together and blowing teams out. Like other coaches are just doing stuff, whereas we're running the same stuff that we ran for the past 4 years now, and the fact that the personnel has taken a big step down since then, of course, is why it looks like the way it looks like.
Well, I used to be half decent at Madden. Do you think I could just be the defensive coordinator?
I'm sure you could give it just as good a shot as Jim Schwartz is right now.
He's a terrible human being.
But Fish, we could talk football with you. We could talk football with you all day. But you know, a lot of our viewers,
absolutely, they
know you host the longest running show on Toxic Radio, the best show on Toxic Radio, Heavy Metal Happy Hour.
Hey, it's a good time.
Yeah, man, I love your show. You know, you have some great interviews. People really like music. It's a great. If you don't like music, it's a great show to watch. And you have some great interviews. Like, how do you get involved doing the show on Toxic Radio?
Mike was actually a student of mine, just like your boy right there in front of you, Yianni. They were both students of mine at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
So you're a teacher at Connecticut
Mike
School of Broadcasting?
I was for 7 years. I was the teacher, radio broadcasting, and digital audio performance and stuff like that. And I was doing my own thing, and Mike did his Toxic Radio thing, and he kept hitting me up and saying, dude, you got to come over. You got to come over. You can do it live. I mean, we were pre-recording podcasting through the school. And he's like, dude, come on. You got to come over. He bugged me for like a year. And I finally headed over, and I was like, dude, this is the coolest thing ever. Toxic Radio is unbelievable.
Yeah, Toxic Mike is the guy he's talking about. For anybody who don't know, he runs Toxic Radio, and yeah, that's where we do our podcast out of it. It's awesome. So that's how
he's
you got in.
He's my toxic twin, man.
And that's how you got in. And how long have you been doing the show now?
On Toxic Radio,
on
I think it's 5 years now. I think it's 5 years now.
So, you know,
yeah, man.
I know you taught there. I had a lot of respect, just in anything. You know, I'm new. I don't know this podcasting. I don't pretend I know it. The radio, the broadcasting world, I don't pretend.
Well, so here's one thing about Fish is that he recognizes talent.
Well, hold up, Donnie. Hold up a second. All right, here's where I got to step in, all right? And I know Mike told you this. I'm not a big fan of many podcasts and a lot of other radio shows just because as the broadcasting instructor, I'm very critical, man, and I dime in on any tiny little mistake, and it drives me crazy. But listening to you guys and your show, man, your show cracks me up. I listen as often as possible because I never know what I'm going to hear next, and it's always a good time. So I would recommend people check out your show all the time.
That's exactly that's where I was going with that. Really, you know, they reached out to me, Tim. You know, I was a guest on a show at Toxic Radio, and then talking to Tim and Mike, and they brought up this podcasting thing, and you know, I didn't know what a podcast really was until I was on the show. I didn't know much, so when I got into it, I didn't have, you know, I like to do things. I don't do anything half-ass. If I do something, I want to be the greatest at it. So I wasn't really sure. I gave it all, but I only have limited resources. And then Mike had hit me up. Toxic Mike hit me up. Maybe after the first episode or two, and he said, I just want you to know the guy from our show, I talked to the guy at Toxic Radio, Fishman, and he thinks you guys really got something. And that gave me, you know, that's when I realized, you know, this guy wouldn't bullshit me. I don't think he would. And I was like, maybe we do have something here.
Hey, lying to you wouldn't do you any good, and it wouldn't do me any good.
Your words definitely inspired us. You know, when I heard that, you know, I knew I was going in the right direction, I hope. And then we brought in a guy like Yianni. I knew Yianni, you know, was a student of yours.
So we made mistakes, essentially.
So we'll all learn it. Yeah.
Yianni's a rock star.
Rock star,
Yianni's
baby.
a good guy, man.
Well,
we actually did a lot of football stuff together, Yianni and I.
We did, yeah. Actually, the Indoor Gridiron League, I remember.
Yes, sir.
Those was a good times, man.
He did. That man was an awesome dude and did a great job on the show, man. And if you've never checked it out, go on YouTube and punch in IGL, Indoor Gridiron League, and watch some of our shows that we produced from CSB. They're pretty banging, man.
That's awesome.
You'll see
Yianni killed it.
You'll see an awkward, slightly less chubby Greek trying to figure it out.
At least you were an awesome dude at some point.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to me.
Oh, man.
So
you guys are tough, man.
Fishman, we're back. I'm trying to bring it all back in. We got you. You're in this. You're like the godfather of Toxic Radio. But what?
Oh, I like that.
What inspired you to get into the broadcasting world and the radio, the podcast? What inspired you, or how did you get into it? Did you do it as a kid? Is this what you always wanted to do? What's the deal, cuz?
Dude, I used to, like Howard Stern says, I used to set up my record players and a microphone and pretend to do radio as a young kid. And my first job ever was actually a DJ at a roller skating rink when I was 13. I used to ride my bicycle about 1.5 miles through the deserts of El Paso, Texas, to be on the mic and say, all right, it's time for a couple skate, couples only, and I started getting into voiceover stuff and doing some commercials that aired on some of the local Texas stations, and then I wound up on air, and I just moved on from there. And I've actually been on the air in pretty much all over the country, to be completely honest with you, and I've been doing it for darn near 35 years. So, and then it brought me up here, and I was down in Georgetown, Delaware, rocking Delmarva for about 2 years, and then I became the instructor at CSB, and I helped get tons of people jobs, and I helped form their broadcasting dreams and make them become a reality.
That's
awesome. Is that a good answer?
That's fucking good answer.
Sell it.
Sell it, brother. You
It's
write
all
that
true,
down.
Man. I mean, I was a DJ at a strip club. I've done that.
We all
I've done
been there,
the
brother.
DJ
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
I was a DJ too.
We're going to go DJ at a strip club
with the
tonight.
Mexican Mafia.
That's always
Yeah,
fun, right?
yeah. I worked with the Mexican Mafia in El Paso. And,
You got to make
did
money
a lot
somehow.
Of, stuffs.
It's a tough world out there, man. Bad
But,
things happen.
Yeah, man. I
Bad
mean, my
things
dream
happen.
is my
Especially
dream's
in
always
Philly.
been to be on air, and I love it. It's the greatest thing to sit behind that microphone, turn it on, and just talk to people listening. Hey, you're my friend. I'm just talking to you, man. I'm not talking to everybody out there listening. I just want to talk to you, and you and I have a conversation.
I dig it. Now, you also do interviews. We had one of our viewers watching. What's the best interview you ever had? Any of your broadcasting career? You never interviewed me yet,
I mean,
but we'll get there,
that's
brother.
Put you on
really
the
a-
spot.
I will love to interview you, man. No, I mean, I've done so
You and my
many,
parole
and
officer,
there's
brother.
Been a lot of, there's been a lot of really good ones, and there's only been a couple that were bad, or that I felt were bad. But I think I want to say one of the coolest I ever did was the singer of Grim Reaper, Steve Grimmett. That was really cool. I mean, Joel Hoekstra, he brought in the most listeners I've ever had in the history of Toxic Radio with his interview, and he was great, very personable. Michael Sweet from Stryper was awesome.
I would listen to your Michael Sweet.
They're all great.
I listened to that one. That was pretty cool. Your Michael
Thanks,
Sweet one?
man. You know who was the worst? I'll tell you who was the worst.
Who was the worst? We like calling people out for their shit on this show. We like to call them out. Who was the worst?
The singer of Trapped.
Trapped. Was he a scumbag, or how was he the worst?
He was just, I don't know if he was preoccupied or if he just wasn't hearing anything, but he was just like talking to a fucking wet rag.
He was on pretty heavy
It was
drugs,
awful.
is what you're trying to say. He's I can speak street.
He was falling asleep.
He'll be on the
internet.
podcast before.
He went on that trip and never came back.
It could be. I don't know if they're facts, so I don't want to say 100%, but he definitely was not with the program that
Yo,
night.
we got the best freaking lawyer that your money can buy, so you can say whatever you. That's the only reason we're still on this show. We've had people try to shut us down. We had the one guy on the show. He's facing murder charge. And his wife is the founder of a billionaire company, and we had a lot of people come at us for having
I
him
heard
on
that
this.
show.
It was a great show. They were great people, and who the hell was I gonna tell them? No, they can't come on my show. This is America, brother. So we had district attorneys. We had some people contacting us, but I
That was
went
a
with my
good one,
gut.
man.
And those Sonny's people.
Yeah, Lauren Janae. Yeah, we had a cheesesteak place. We do the cheesesteak thing. We're bringing back. We had a cheesesteak company reach out
There
to
you
us. They said we got to stop bad
Yeah,
mouthing
last
them.
thing I heard, you guys last I heard, you guys weren't allowed to eat in the studio, but now Mike's caving and letting you do it again, huh?
Yeah, man.
You don't know how much yelling happens behind the scene.
How many people do you got to harm to let us eat in the show?
Mike's been threatened so many times. He just gives up at this point.
Kept acting like a communist.
Yeah. So we had one of the cheesesteak companies actually reach out to us and, threaten us with a lawsuit and for
really
for speaking the truth. Yeah, it's Sonny's Steaks. It's in Philly. I think it's on Second and Market. They're scumbags. Their food's horrible. And
you gotta say
don't
Second
go
and
there.
Market.
Yeah, don't go there. They're horrible people.
I won't.
Worst cheesesteaks.
The
only thing worse than the cheesesteaks is the people.
Didn't you poison me live on air at one point with one of those cheesesteaks?
Yeah, I gave Tim a cheesesteak. I didn't tell him it was from there because they got me sick.
And next thing I know, I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Let's cut this shit. Let's get to the serious question, Fishman. The question everybody wants to hear.
Go ahead.
You're a broadcaster. Yes or no? Is Airheads the greatest movie ever?
Airheads is definitely one of the greatest movies ever. Definitely one of the greatest. Not the greatest, but it is damn good.
I saw that, and I kind of wanted to get into broadcasting. I was like,
that is a great flick, man. Well, see, I'm old. I'm really old. Like, I remember movies with Wolfman Jack in it, I'm old school, brother.
You're old school.
We're going to pull something out of my stacks of wax going back to 1955. This is Tommy James and the Shondells coming at you.
Oh, man. Are you a big Howard Stern guy? Are you a big Howard Stern guy? I know you mentioned him.
I love Howard Stern. I'm a big fan. Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern, absolutely, man. I still listen to Howard Stern every day.
Yeah, they're pretty good people, man.
I dig it. I dig it. But hey, if anybody wants to, they can tune in Saturday night. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Showboat in Atlantic City.
What time's that at, Fish?
The press conference starts at 7:30, but my show starts at 7. And we're going to be bouncing back and forth, doing my show and then doing some live video stuff for the celebrity boxing thing.
So 7 p.m.
This has never really been formally. It's never been formally announced, but myself and Angela Low-Johns are the sports commentators for celebrity boxing. We'll be providing the play-by-play for the celebrity fights via their live stream that we'll be putting out on Toxic TV.
Mr. Entertainment, correct?
Mr. Entertainment.
The dude. I don't like to say build people up, but my God, I've been in this industry. I've been in the pro wrestling. I've been in entertainment. Not broadcasting like you, but I've been the high points in the pro wrestling world. Right away, when you hear that kid talk, he got it.
He's got the it factor.
He got the it factor.
He is something special.
He got the it factor,
special,
man. I know he had a show here. When I didn't see him anymore, I was hoping somehow he came back around because he got it. When you got it. He's very good at what he does.
Yep. When Damon asked if I would do the play-by-play commentary for him, I'm like, well, I got to get somebody to be my partner. And the first thing I thought of was I looked at Mike and I'm like, dude, Angelo. And he's like, fuck yes.
So you guys will be at 7 p.m. You'll be doing heavy metal happy hour.
Is that Eastern time or
Eastern
yes,
time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody can
Eastern,
tune into that.
7 p.m. Eastern.
And they can tune into your regular show every Saturday.
7 to 10.
Right on Toxic Radio.
It's Saturday nights, but yeah, I just bought a house though, and settlement is 3 weeks away, so I'm kind of really nuts packing and getting ready to move. So I've got to miss a couple of shows. So this will actually be my last live show for like 2 or 3 weeks.
But they can follow it on
the
heavy.
Right back at it. And
you got the Facebook page. They can follow it. You'll keep them up to date. You'll have past shows.
Absolutely. And Mike will be playing Best of Heavy Metal Happy Hours on Saturday night. So there'll be a show playing. We'll pull out some of my old interview shows and stuff like that just to keep people entertained.
And if Fishman doesn't plug the Fishman interviews,
Toxic Mike.
I'm sorry, I have to jump in here because I would do the same things for
my
Hungry
show.
for Hope.
Do whatever you want, cuz.
But I'm helping Fish out just like I would help any of you guys out. The Fishman interviews, all of his best interviews can be found on the Toxic Radio app, also toxicradio.net or wherever you get podcasts. Even though he's not a big fan of podcasts, we've got all of his best interviews in podcast form for everybody to listen to and check out whenever they want.
Awesome, man. Yeah, that had to be.
Mike's a
I love you,
businessman.
man.
All right, let's stop getting all huggy-duggy. Now, Fishman, I got a question. I got my comrades here.
Weird choice of words.
We've been in this. I've been in this for less than a year, man, and we love what we got going on. What advice would you give some young whippersnappers like us who, we're like I said, I don't do anything half-assed. I don't get into something unless I see myself being the greatest at it eventually. I did pro wrestling. I did football, and I went to high levels and all. So I want to take this and I want to respect guys who came before me like you and, Toxic Radio. What advice would you give us?
The advice that I would give you is not to change a single thing you're doing. What you guys are doing is right. Whatever it is, you've got it. Your format is great. Your interviews crack me up, man, because you don't hold any punches back. And at the addition of Yianni, I think is really cool, man. Nothing because I love the kid or anything, but I think you guys have something really good going on, and I'm telling you, I look forward to the ride and checking out your show every night, every week.
Hey, thanks a lot.
So
man.
I wouldn't change a thing, man. I wouldn't change anything. Whatever you're doing to get ready, fucking just keep going. Just keep treading ahead, bro.
That's great advice. Just in anything in life, I tell people. Sometimes people they keep on doing something, they don't get that instant satisfaction, so they think they're doing it wrong, so they stop. And you stop before the miracle happens, You know how many people probably gave up right before they got to that pot of gold because they're like, we're doing the same thing. But if you got something, you believe in yourself, you believe in your product, you believe in the people around you, keep on doing it. I agree. Thank you a lot. Right?
And from a personal level,
you guys are real dudes. You don't have that broadcasting background. I know Yianni does, and he's got training and he really kills at it. But you guys don't have that. But your personalities and just your want to go out and kick ass and take names is more than enough to keep you guys above the rest. I mean, I see big things happening for you guys. You keep your shit going the way it is. I see nothing bad happening with y'all.
Hey,
y'all are great people.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. I know you got the new house going. I don't want to waste your time any longer, man. I just want to thank you for coming on. Yanni wants to say something before we get
Absolutely.
Just one thing while I got you. I mean, I just have to, thank you on a personal level for when I first started at the school there, I wasn't out there to try to get a on-air job or anything like that. I was kind of a shy kind of kid. No, you won't believe it over here, guys, but you helped me kind of step out of my comfort zone and even allow me to do something like this with these crazy assholes. And it's I don't know, it's fun, and I just really appreciate what you've done for me and a lot of other people. Seriously.
Hey, absolutely, brother. I mean, we threw you into it for sure because you were hesitant. But we were like, dude, just do it.
Yeah. You ain't wrong.
You did great.
No, I was awkward as hell, and
well,
I still am,
you, man.
but I'll try to keep working.
Hey, thank you so much.
Hey, that's all you can do.
Hey, Fish, thank you so much. Thank you for helping our young genius over here, Yianni The Greek. And, have a great night. Thanks again for coming in. Thanks for the words.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for having me, man. And again, if you're not doing anything Saturday night, come on down to the Showboat in Atlantic City. We're going to be having a good time. Like I said, broadcasting live streaming. And
tune into the show.
We got to hang out and party.
Helping out.
All right, brother. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right, guys. Do good things.
That was cool.
Yeah, he was awesome.
The innovator.
What do you think about all this, Tim?
The originator.
Yeah, the originator. That was the word I was looking for. For some reason, I'm thinking Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence. So I was like, it caught me off guard a little bit there. But Fishman, that interview was great. It was glad to talk to him. Glad to get some Toxic Radio family on the show.
Yeah,
the only one we normally hear from is Mike, and I know everybody's sick of that.
Right, he's on every show. All right, Mike. Yeah, we get it, man. You're on the radio, on the station. Yeah.
Like, way to go, Mike.
It's real cool what's going on here, and every other of the Toxic family, hit us up. We'll pump you up for a little bit. Why not?
Maybe.
If you're worth Donnie's time over there,
Mostly you got to pay ad time.
We're open to that too.
Maybe I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not.
We'll give you Tim's Venmo and we'll get to go.
Oh man, but yeah, that was great. It was cool, your relation to the Fishman.
Yeah, it's again, I didn't want to hold him up for too long, but no, I wasn't. You've made some jokes about how I always wanted to be a broadcaster. It's absolutely not true. I kind of just wanted to learn the technical parts. I just kind of think the whole thing is cool, and maybe it was going to be a way for me to get into sports, but it turned out they pushed me in front of a microphone until I got good at it or decent at it.
So would you call yourself like the fish kid?
The fish kid. I'm a tadpole. No, that's not a fish.
That's not. It has nothing to do with that.
Listen, I do sports.
Straight.
I don't do animals.
Hey, we got a great question from a viewer. Tim, this is for you. Tim, do you condemn white supremacy? Tim,
yes.
Do you condemn white
supremacy? It's pretty easy answer. Yes, I absolutely do. That's why we talk bad about it till it's Jim. That's why we had.
That's
that
from Bobby from Ben Sound. He's been sending me a lot of questions. Bobby, thanks for your.
What's up, Bobby from Ben Sound?
Tim, that's all he had to do. That's all he had to do. What you just did.
Tim,
I tried to add some drama to it.
Maybe Tim for president is a good campaign.
What?
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't want to. Yeah, Tim. Well, Tim, we know you're a big music guy, Tim.
I'm not.
Well, you're a big Tim, I heard you were a big music guy.
Okay.
Tim, Toxic Mike. Is there any proof out there that Tim was a big music guy? Is there any? Is there? Oh, Tim, is that not you?
I was a motherfucking G.
Tim, is that not you with your jukebox? Where
I'm
are
not
you there?
Gonna deny that's
Where
me.
are you there? Iraq or somewhere?
It's Wildwood.
That's where the gangsters hang out, near the roller coaster.
Tim, tell us about this picture.
Well, obviously, I was a motherfucking G. Like, what else do you need to know?
Jamie, one of our producers, the only thing he said wrong with the picture, he used to do the same thing, but he used to have a bigger radio.
Am I wearing sunglasses? I never wear sunglasses.
So
that's the only weird
where
part.
you said you were there? Iraq or no? Wow, there it is.
It's clearly Wildwood.
Listen, ain't nothing but a G thing. Yeah?
All I want to know is who did you steal that radio from, brother?
No, it's some of the people that I went to the beach with. I don't know what was in that bag.
From the white tank top to the baggy jeans. I mean, this is a
that? Did you say it's baggy jeans? It's
baggy
not jeans.
Shorts, whatever, man.
Ball shorts.
I do sports. I don't do fashion.
So, all right.
Try to get that.
No, that's a great. I just want to, if you're a music guy, that's okay with us, but don't lie about it,
Yeah, I'm about to block my Facebook.
But that had nothing to do with music. That was style, cuz.
All right, I'm just saying. That was music.
What were you blaring back in those days? What's on that boombox?
Probably Biggie, Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang's forever.
Not Tim. We're gonna get away from your music, whatever you
prowess.
Do. Prowess. I don't know the words.
I don't even like music that much.
All right, but
it's not a bad thing.
What do you think about these bozos? The one. What did he say?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
He said bad things happen in Philly. Did you hear them words last night?
Yeah, I mean,
bad things.
I mean, you lived in Philly for a little bit.
Bad
I think
things
everybody
happen
understands.
in Philly. Tim, let me tell you something about Philadelphia, our city. I was in Philly. I'm in Philly every day. I was in Philly today. Bad things. You know what I saw today? I saw people helping up an old lady who was on the ground. She had fallen. They helped her up after she got mugged. You don't see that shit in Chicago. You don't see old ladies getting helped.
That's some class act shit
That
right
was
there.
class act. She lost her purse in the mugging, but they helped her up. They brushed her off. They probably could have asked for some money for helping her up, but they didn't because she didn't have any.
Well, because it was stolen.
You don't see that shit in Chicago. You don't see old ladies getting helped. Bad things happen in Philly. Fucking come see me, buddy.
No, in Chicago, they just leave the old lady sitting right there.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I can't abide by it.
It's a cesspool. It's disgusting. We have class acts in Philadelphia. You know?
Yeah, you know it's weird. I like Chicago though. You know?
You would.
Fucked up people just like us. They get us. I think.
The only thing from Chicago I like is Nick Foles.
There he is. It all comes full circle. Yeah, we go back.
That and trap music.
Yeah, Wu-Tang is for the children.
It is.
But I just wanted to put that out there. I wanted to put that out there about our beautiful city of Philadelphia. And any bozo who says anything else.
It's always sunny there.
Come fight me, cuz. Come fight me. I don't care who you are, what office you hold, what office you're trying to hold.
Almost especially if you hold an office.
Come fight me. I'm not that little bozo moderator. Well, what about that guy?
Yeah.
You see the debate. We don't do politics, but he's not political.
He's
just a moderator.
He was like more of a piece of shit than Jim
He was
Kenny,
the biggest piece
Larry Krasner.
You pronounce it wrong, Donnie. It's pronounced jackass.
Jackass. That's what that dude was. That was the debate. We stay away from politics, but I call out bullshit, and he was a bullshit.
Trump
man.
did hit him with that. Who am I debating here?
Are you guys voting? What are you doing?
Nah,
you getting out there November what?
I'm not allowed legally.
I'm not, man. Forget that. What?
Thanks for bringing up bad subjects.
I pretend
Johnny.
Sorry.
I pretend
My dog died when I was 10. You want to bring that up?
Well, I'm sure you had great times having,
I
a
just
fetch
buried
in the
my
back.
buddy. You want to bring that up? You want to go get the shovel? We'll dig him back up, asshole.
Yeah, buy him a drink and see what that works.
I tell people I'm a felon so they don't ask me if I'm voting.
Yeah, there's no point in voting when the two candidates they give you are complete disrespect to the American citizen.
There's not even a
it's like
half-decent third party.
It's like a social fucking popularity contest. It's
no, who's
bullshit.
not? You
It's
bring up a
about
great
making the
point.
country better.
Know who's not a disrespect to the American people?
Kanye West.
One Donnie Hart.
Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. Holy shit, Yanni. How about this guy?
Our weekly
This
mention
is
of
Jimmy Butler. If you guys don't listen to the show, go fuck yourself.
You didn't just hear that, so.
Toxic Mike, can we cut the? Oh, we do it live. Fuck. All right. Well, anyway.
Well,
anyway, we got this Jimmy Butler cat.
That's right.
Or basketball player, whatever
the
you want to call
podcast's adopted son, Jimmy Butler, is gonna.
Are we allowed to curse, Toxic Mike? I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but I'm gonna roll with the punches.
Jimmy Buckets for president.
So we got Jimmy Butler. He was at 13 years old. He was kicked out of his house. This is a true story. He was kicked out of his house.
What is
because his mom looked at him and said, "I don't like the way you look." That was when he was 13.
I mean,
now
everybody's entitled to their opinion.
But how does she?
There he is.
I bet he looks a lot better now in the finals tonight against the Lakers. Jimmy Butler. Our show's about inspiration. You could say I talk about Jimmy Butler too much, but the truth is, I said 2 months ago that Jimmy Butler was going to be in the finals against the Lakers, and people laughed at me. They called me crazy. Well, who's crazy now? You
We
bozos?
called it on the podcast.
I called it on the podcast. Listen to the things. I might be out of control today, Ray. But if out of control gets the truth, then I want to be out of control, brother.
Woo!
Woo! But Jimmy Butler is a story of a real underdog. A guy. I'm going to stop with the Jimmy Butler talk, but look it up yourself. We love the underdog story. We love the story of coming back. And that brings me to my next point.
Well, you heard what Jimmy said, right?
Yanni, you do the sports on this show. I do the good shit. What do you want to say, Yanni? You interrupted me. Let's go.
You're talking about Jimmy
The
Butler.
Sixers tried to control me.
Anyway, Jimmy Butler said in the beginning of the series that they don't feel like they're the underdogs. They feel like they're the favorite. I mean, that's some confidence. That's when you're just dripping right there.
You don't feel like he's underdog. He feels like he's a favorite. I feel like that's how he's felt his whole life. When everybody doubted him, no matter who doubts you in life, let's get serious here. People could say, no, you're not good enough. You're this, you're that. But if you believe in yourself and deep down you say, he was homeless. He didn't get any scholarships out of high school. And then when he finally did pretty good, he was the last draft pick in the first round. But in his mind, he didn't let all that shit change.
He didn't consider himself an underdog then.
He's like, I'm the greatest. He knew. If you know in your heart, do not let your circumstances change who you are. Because, man, I know a lot of people, you're looking at one, who had taken that rock bottom and made it that sturdy ground they need to get to their dreams. So be a Jimmy Butler today.
Real quick.
Don't be a bozo.
Real quick, though. He said he didn't feel like he was going into the game as an underdog, right? So he's a professional athlete, gets paid millions of dollars, should have the utmost confidence in himself.
Right.
Is he going to be like, you know what, we might be the underdogs?
Of course, he's not
going to
say. Yeah, I understand, but it's just the fact of being able to say, being that confident. That,
I mean, he should be.
You can sidestep the question and go, oh well, we feel like we have a good chance to win. And you said what you said, but no. He went right after. We're not the underdog. We're the favorite. We're better.
I would hope he would.
It's just his attitude.
It's not impressive.
But I mean, if you're in that locker room with him, aren't you like, fuck yeah,
Yeah, but we have Tobias Harris.
he's a
Got the
leader.
Wentz
But
contract.
we got enough
Crickets.
Butler. We got enough Butler talk. We're gonna get to a lot of people have been asking something that this pandemic really fucked. Can I say? Am I allowed to say curse?
Yeah, I mean,
We've said it like
really-
6
yeah,
times.
really
already.
fucked
Mike
us up.
finds us once in a while, but that's because
We're
it's
gonna
Mike.
get the Dining with Donnie, one of the bases of our show.
Good.
Something that people loved. Here it is. Tim, where do these come from? We got
You
these
gotta get
great
it on the
arts.
camera. So.
We got this great artwork. We got Yianni The Greek. We got Dining with Donnie. We got Tim for president.
That's the best one.
Tim, where do these signs come from? Tim brought these
We
in
got
from a
branding
fan.
on the show.
Colin Hefner.
Colin Hefner. Thank you for bringing these in, Colin. Everybody check him out. He
Goals
brought a
up.
good one, Dining with Donnie.
I'm shocked people listen, man. I can't believe it.
I've had so many people since the show started reach out about Dining with Donnie. And the pandemic messed us up. We had a food ban at Toxic Radio because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We weren't in the studio for a little. And everybody, they're like, Donnie
Toxic
went.
Mike had to make all these rules.
He really thought he was just being overshadowed by Dining with Donnie, so he stopped.
You know, we had, oh my God, we had people from all over the freaking world get on this cheesesteak bandwagon. Dining with
Japan.
Donnie, we're out on our goal to find out who the best cheesesteak is in Philadelphia, in the city. And we've been going to Tim. We were at a point I was eating 4 cheesesteaks a day at 4 different spots. We went to spot to spot.
Healthy.
We talked to the owners. We talked to the cooks. We talked to the one guy at Max's who cleaned the bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
We talked to everybody. We didn't leave any stone unturned. And we didn't just go to, we went to places off the beaten track, all in the city of Philly, though. And Tim, we found the top 5.
Top 5, dead or alive.
So we have the top 5 cheesesteaks in
Still waiting for
Philadelphia.
that.
There are no order. We will take that top 5. We will personally go live. We will have video of us going to every cheesesteak place, the top 5 list, all of them. We will be eating them. We will be talking to the owners. We'll be talking to the guy who cleans the bathroom. Top to bottom. Everybody.
It's just weird.
We will find out.
keep talking
We will
to
go from 5 to 4 to 2 to 1.
No, you skipped 3 completely. It's
There
5,
is no
4,
3 because we
We're
have
not
the
going
bracket.
Oh. Well, what do you just go for?
We will have.
3, 2, 1?
Is this Dining with
Left
Tim?
hooks, all right? Left hooks.
You just can't skip an entire number. I
That-
mean, you can.
You're not a big sports fan. That's how brackets work. So we will have the top 5, and then we will give you the final, the champion of champions. We will give you the Hungry for Hope, the Dining with Donnie, greatest cheesesteak in Philadelphia. But to get to number 1, we have to go through 5. 5. We will start with 1. This is in no order.
No.
Tim,
order.
tell us. I know you might not be a Prince, Tim, but tell us the cheesesteak you think is the cheesesteak you like that's in our top 5.
Steve's, Prince of Steaks.
Steve's Prince of Steak. You had there. You think they're deserving of the top 5?
Absolutely. They're deserving of my favorite.
They're your favorite. All right. Well,
For right
Steve's
now.
Prince of Steak
We'll
is in the
see.
top
We're gonna break
5.
it down.
And we go for the 4th one on Dining with Donnie Cheesesteaks. Yianni, can you tell us the 4th cheesesteak on Dining with Donnie?
That is Joe's.
Joe's Steak and Soda Shop. We got one for our, there used to be Chink Steaks, for anybody who don't know.
You can't say that on the radio.
You can't say Chinks on the radio. You know what else I said on the radio today? We said, like, oh my God.
I mean, if you're like,
This
all
could
right.
be the last show, so tune
Are
in.
we allowed to say curses?
I was driving, I bumped into somebody, got a
So-
chink in my car.
So we
You
got
can say
Steve's
that, right?
Prince of Steaks. We got Joe's, the former Chinks Steaks. We got, we actually sent one of our guests and his family, Joe's, Lewis, Hazel. We got 2 out of the top 5. These are in no order. We will find out who's the top. And number 1 will come from this top 5. So we have Steve's Prince of Steaks. We got Joe's. And this one, Tim, this is a dark horse. This is an area where a lot of people don't like to go. It had a little notability, but this one, don't sleep on this one. I'm telling you, this is not one a lot of people expect. Don't sleep on Max's. You got Max's Steaks.
Germantown Ave, Max's Steak. Tim, we went there. We went to everyone.
They got Lion's Head on tap.
Lion's Head on tap. It's in a rough area, but they're good people, man. They treated us good. It's a rough. I'm telling you, get ready. You
Well,
know.
it's in Philly, and that's where bad things happen.
Yeah, it's a rough place. They're good people.
It's in Germantown.
Max
Even
is
kinda
very
worse
deserving.
things happen.
So we got Steve's, Joe's, Max's. And then, we got another one is great people that come from a great family. We love the owners. We're going to have them on the show. People involved there. They're great people who work there. Drum roll, we don't need it. Because Tony Lukes, right on organ and front. Our man at Toxic Radio, Jamie's a big fan.
Most people would say front in Oregon.
El Wingador, big fan, man. He's, he loves them. We love him. You can't have a top 5 without Tony Lukes. So there we go. We got one left, Tim. So who we have? We got Tony Lukes. We got Steve's Princess Steaks. We got Joe's, formerly known as Chinks. And we got the Dark Horse Max's. So we got one more in the top 5. One of these top 5 will be the Hungry for Hope, the Dining with Donnie, top cheesesteak in Philly. The top cheesesteak in Philly. And this 5th one, man, I wouldn't be able to show my face in South Philly if I didn't have them on the top 5. I'm telling you, all my boys from South Philly, they said, Donnie, you put this one on, you don't come to the neighborhood anymore. John's Roast Pork. Don't be fooled by the name. It's roast pork, but they got, my God. How was that bread? Their bread, the bread, if you don't know, Yianni, the bread is the backbone of every good cheesesteak.
You're telling me?
Yanni's a food guy.
You're telling the Greek that bread is good?
It's the backbone. Anybody, when we're looking for these good cheesesteaks, the number one thing, the bread. You can have a cheesesteak that's good that doesn't have the best meat, but you can't have a cheesesteak with a roll that's not good and it be good. Once the roll's over, it's over.
You'll ruin a good,
that
soggy, nasty.
It's like a person. You can't have a good person who's a liar or touches kids. Once you do that, it's over. If you don't have good bread, you're just as good as a pedophile. You know what I mean?
No, you start with the bread. I mean, that's the whole thing. You don't want that sloppy mess. You know what I mean? You want.
But we got our top 5.
So wait, hold on.
We got our top 5. John's Roast Pork.
I'm starving right now.
Tony Luke's, Steve's Princess Steak, Joe's and Max's. And we will be starting next week. We will be trying each one. We will find the top out of the 5. And we will let you all know. But Hungry for Hope Nation.
Only one will stand alone.
Thank you for tuning in. Next week, we have a guest who went from prison to the Olympics. Tune in. We will be announcing who that is. His story is amazing. Not as amazing as Yianni The Greek's picks. We'll be having them this week, too. But until then, see ya. We're out of here.